going to see Severino calling out the Blue Jays, and Smokes right there.
And Bryce Harper wants a piece of Hunter Strickland. Here they go. Strickland lands a punch. Harper lands a punch.
Behind him. He's charging the mound. Morgan's coming after him, and the Marlins are pummeling him. Oh, goodness.
Now he has something to say, and look out here.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of the Rest of Mound podcast. We got Jared here as always. Say what's up, Jared.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
We got an exciting guest. I played against him at Hawaii Hilo, and now he's still balling. And I don't want to spoil his story because I want him to tell it about where he's at now. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce Mr. Jake Liberta. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Doing good.
Solid, brother.
Very nice.
So let's just jump right into it, dude. You just signed a pro ball contract.
Yes,
out
sir.
in Germany, right? The Hünstetten Storm. Can you explain kind of how you got hooked up with them, how the process was, and what led you to choose them?
Yeah. So as you said, coming out of Hawaii, it was a little bit difficult to try and get any looks out there. Obviously, I played in Hawaii. I loved playing my 5 years out there. Ended up trying to. I knew I didn't want to be done playing ball, so I went to the Japan Winter League. Played out there for 2 months, which was pretty cool. Got seen by them out there, and the rest was kind of history there. So, I mean, got to see some cool countries along the way as well. So, I can't complain.
What was Japan like?
Unbelievable. Just good food, amazing people. Baseball's competitive. Their baseball, like, it's like a religion out there. They take it so serious, and I have all the respect for those guys out there because once I've seen kind of their training regimen and whatnot, it's kind of given me a new perspective of the game. Just because, honestly, I would show up in the morning, we'd eat breakfast, and then we'd go to the facility, and we'd be at the facility for hours before the game. And then if some of those guys whether they perform good or not off the field, hours in the facility after the game, it was crazy.
That's their life.
Yeah.
Not to really derail the conversation real quick, because I had this question here circled because it's always been on my mind. I've never had anyone ask it. How is Japanese baseball dirt? It looks so prime, dude.
So the infield itself was nice, just because it's all dirt. The mound, I don't know. It was not don't get me wrong, it was different. I don't want to bash on any mounds or anything like that, but it was different. By the third inning, fourth inning, it was no clay, so it was all dirt, and so it was definitely softer, but it worked. It worked.
You know, when you see with even with MLB, not really, because they do such a good job taking care of it. But you know, when you just go to a college or even a high school field, some of our dirt just kind of seems drier than some spots.
Oh yeah.
I feel they always have it even keel all the way through.
It's like every time we show up to the field, it was almost the field was always wet. It was always a wet, somewhat compact dirt. I mean, my second baseman that I was playing with out there, he was an American guy too. And he wasn't the biggest fan of it. He used to he said that he would have to play even with the bags. Sometimes just because to avoid the hops of the baseline, and so that was his preference. But a lot of our infielders kind of I was pretty surprised. The only thing that I noticed was when I went to go field the PFP. And I remember this play. I went to go field the PFP down the third baseline. I picked it up, and I went to turn, and I was when you plant into grass, you're not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
My cleats slid out from under me, dude, and I slipped and fell on my butt, bro.
And that was way different for you because I know it rained a little bit, or not a little bit. I will get to that one too about raining a lot in Hilo, but you guys had crabgrass, so it kind of. Once you planted it, it was able to stick. I remember going there for the first time, and it was dude, what do you mean we're playing? It's raining. And then we get out on the field, and it's once the rain dies down, and it's oh, it's actually not really that bad. It's the field elements kind of play into the rain. So I don't know if out there, where it's the dirt doesn't really play into the rain, or why that was able to be a good adjustment for you, and maybe not some other ones. But
yeah,
being out in Hilo, you're from Arizona,
yeah,
right? The desert. and then you go to basically the rainforest. What was your decision to end up there? This is the three-parter, right? So what was your decision to end up in there? Did you ever get island fever? And then was you being in Hawaii for college, did that make it easier to go out and play international? Like go away from home for the first time?
This
Okay.
man's SAT questions, man. A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
That Jake.
We'll just get them all out, bro. I don't want to cut you off with it like
No,
boom,
you're
boom, boom.
chilling.
So
No, I get it.
away unless you answer.
No, I appreciate it, dude. So the first thing was going through the recruiting process. I went to I'm gonna just call out my high school here. I went to Valley Christian High School in Chandler, Arizona. So it's a small high school, like 450 kids in the whole high school. Yeah. So I played 4 years of varsity ball out for them at a private school. Looking at a lot of JUCOs out of high school. Good JUCOs, just like not like they weren't giving me a definite answer whether I was going to play or not my freshman year. That was kind of the big mindset there. Was I really was eager to be on the field my freshman year, and they said none of them could really promise that. I had a couple D3s that were interested in me. I was not looking to go back east, if I'm being completely honest with you. I was not looking to play in the snow. Like, I've had buddies that went out there and they loved it and whatnot. That's just not for me. As I said, I've been born and raised in Arizona, as you said. So then I was supposed to have my showcase, the senior showcase, out in Arizona. That got rained out my year.
Oh.
Yeah, raining in Arizona, I know, right?
Yeah.
So that happened, and then little sidetrack there. Hawaii Pacific and Hilo were supposed to come watch me pitch then. Hawaii Pacific flew home. Hilo flew home because it was rained out, and so my pitching coach at the time, he knew of the assistant coach, Coach Ukes, out in Hawaii. Because my pitching coach that was out here was born and raised in Oahu. So he called him up. He was like, "Hey, I still have this guy that's interested in you guys." And Coach Ukes was super accommodating. He came out and he was like, "Hey," he's like, my son's gonna have a tournament in Arizona in like 2 weeks. Like, come have him throw for me in the facility. And so I came and threw in the facility. There was 3 other guys that threw at the facility. And I don't know if I should say this, but I threw it to get recruited. I threw it at I think I stepped on the mound that evening at 12:30 in the morning, and it was just me and a 9 square. So
It's just like at midnight.
Yeah, it was me and a 9 square, and my coach and Coach Ukes just hanging out. And then I remember, so originally I'd gone to Hilo, but you never saw this, Brennan. But you never saw that I originally had come as a 2-way. So they had me. Coach Ukes had always joked. He's like, "Oh, if you only had your bat," and of course, me being the baseball player, I was like, "I actually have my bat in my truck." And so my pitching coach threw me batting practice in there, and I think I took batting practice. By the time I finished my bullpen and all that, it was 1 o'clock. And I was taking batting practice in there to show them what I have. So
yeah, I saw that because I was when doing the research for all this, and I saw your international portfolio and stuff like that for when you were playing out in Japan and stuff like that. And it says secondary positions, all of the outfield, and I was like, outfield. Yeah. I was like, when I play Sunday League, I play outfield sometimes, but you're playing professional baseball in Germany, and you're like, yeah, I can do a 2-way.
Yeah. No, well, so the thing is the league that I'm playing in Germany, it's like the ALNL. So I've been trying to hit over here because I've got a hit out there. So
okay. So they still have it where it's one side has the DH and one side
doesn't.
Yeah,
so one side has the DH, one side doesn't. So we were originally in the conference that didn't have or that did have a DH last year, but then they're trying to fully professionalize baseball in Germany, where it's on TV, paid sponsorship, stuff like that. And so they flipped them because they wanted to even the leagues out, because the West had 2 or 3 more teams than the East did. So then they pushed us over because we were on the border, and then one other team.
Okay.
So
how's the Island Fever?
How's the swing?
Island Fever. Yes, yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Not really, dude. Honestly,
just happy to be there.
I was so happy to be there, and like every week that I had off, it was just kind of like exploring a different part of the island. I never really like. I guess like the only thing that I was like, dang, I wish I would have had was like a Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that to go to, like because
Yeah.
like you should. I don't know if they ever took you out in Hawaii to our sporting goods store. It was a little sporting goods store. It was probably the size of like. It was probably the size of a kitchen, like
Okay.
a small kitchen, and that had all of the sporting goods. That had baseball, soccer, softball, like you name it, and it was just like it was almost like your standard Big Five.
I feel like we couldn't even find one of those. Like, we went out there, I think someone had like they needed new socks or something like that, and we had to run to like a Walmart, and it
Yep.
was a mission.
Yeah. No, it was funny because like every time you guys would come into town, you guys would come in like massive packs. So like we would see you guys like just throughout the town, and like the
Yeah.
town's not big. Like
It was always like that. Like in conference, I feel like you go out to dinner and you'll be like playing against a team for like 3 hour or 4 days
yeah,
straight, and then you go to dinner and it's like they're just all at the same place, and you're like, okay, well
exactly.
now I gotta
Where
flip
would
off the
you?
competitive switch.
So I got a question for you. Where would you guys check out? Like, where were you guys like? Where was like the go-to like places that you guys would hang out when you guys were there? Was it like
When
downtown or?
By the time, so it just depended on if we went to you guys first or if we went there second. So if we went
Okay,
to Oahu first, a lot of guys would blow through their per diem
okay.
and not really have much by the time we got to Hilo. So they had to
Which
start spreading it out. When we like my freshman year, they would hand us all the money on the bus when we got there. Like, and it was like, hey, here's your money for the 2 weeks that we're gone. And then they started splitting it up, and it was like, you're gonna get your money for Pacific, and then when we hop on the flight to go to Hilo, you're gonna get your money for Hilo because everyone was already blowing through all their money. We would always go to just like some local. I forgot what hotel we stayed in, but we would just walk to. It was like a little hole in the wall.
You
People always love getting the what are they called? Where it's like rice, and then they put
the
it's like
Locomocos, yeah,
Loco Mocos, dude.
yeah.
Everybody would always just load up on Loco Mocos. The hotel bathroom smelled so fucking bad. Like so when we went to Hilo, it was more just like we liked seeing the like. So when we went to Oahu, it was more like touristy, and when we went to
Yeah,
Hilo, it was more just
absolutely.
like hanging out and relaxing. And we would go to our hotel had like a cool like a cinder block kind of that was like 15 feet tall that we would climb and jump off into the water.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. No, I know. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about over there,
yeah.
dude. That's so
So it was more than
crazy.
chill, because like on Oahu, you just rent the mopeds and cruise the island and stuff like that. But on Hilo, we would just kind of chill and do all the local. We try to make it seem like we weren't tourists. Like we would try
Yeah,
to blend into the local and try the local food and all that type of stuff.
that's still so sick though that they let you guys like ride the mopeds and do all that stuff, dude. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were like, my first couple of years, like, so it was COVID. COVID year was my first year. Then second year was like the modified season where they did
Mhm.
like Northern Cal, Southern Cal, and
And you guys
Hawaii
only
pod.
played Pacific.
Yeah, and we only played Pacific for like
Yeah.
30 something games.
Yeah.
Um, dude, that's something to talk about,
I
right?
can't even imagine that.
That was ridiculous. But anyways, like then the year after that, our coach was like instantly on lockdown. Like COVID was done. Like he was just like, hey, like baseball's done. You're not leaving your room until the dinner van comes, and then like and then it kind of got a lot more chill like junior senior year. But like it was like that first year out of COVID, it was like I think everybody was afraid of like our coaches were afraid of one guy getting sick and then causing everybody to be
And
sick
that
on
must be
the
harder
trip.
with you guys, where like every road trip you got to hop on a plane. So it's
Yeah.
like it's different than just being able to
Yeah.
blend it. Just go hide in the back of the bus. Like you got to
Well,
hop on a plane and everything. And
well, dude, like, so I don't know where you were when COVID happened, but for me, I was hopping on a plane to go to Northern California. That was supposed to be my first. That was supposed to be my first Pac West road trip to Northern California,
okay,
and we were like bags were on the plane. Like we were supposed to board in like 10 minutes, and our coach like sat us down. He was like, "Hey, like like this coronavirus thing's happening. Like we don't know if we're gonna be able to play." And our coach legit like pulled us all off the flight. Like they pulled our bags off the flight. We were able to get our bags. And I remember like a lot of my teammates like they were our coach was kind of anticipating. He's like within like 2 weeks. He's like we'll give you guys like 2 weeks. Go home for like 2 weeks and then come back and we're still gonna have season. Like he was anticipating that we were still gonna have
yeah.
season. And I remember a lot of my teammates were like they were ready. Like they caught the next flight out. They were home and then they were like. And I remember because I stayed like a week after. Like I was just like I'm like, what's the point of me going home? Like, I was just gonna like, just kind of hang out. And then after that first week is when this whole season just got canceled, and I was like, wow.
So we actually came back. We played you guys, and it was my first college start. I missed the whole previous season with a labrum tear, and then I finally got back and worked like the first out of conference games, like out of the bullpen, and then we played you guys, and there was a rain delay, and so we had to pick back up the next day in like the sixth inning or whatever, and we were winning by like one. So our coach was like, "Hey, we're just gonna throw our game 4 starter for the last 4 innings of this game while we're up by 1 and try to win," because the rain forecast was supposed to pick back up, and we thought that game 4 was gonna get canceled. So game 4 ends up getting played, and they're like, Dickie, you got the ball, like." You're just gonna go 1, and we'll play it inning by inning, like blah blah blah. And I'm going like 6 innings, and then we hop on a flight back, and then we like everything's cool. Like you can see, like there's like 1 or 2 people wearing masks at the airport. Like it's starting to kind of like show signs of being a thing. We get back, we go to class for like, because I think we fly back on a Monday. We go to class for Tuesday, we go to class for Wednesday. We're supposed to play Fresno Pacific on Thursday. They drive down to us. It starts raining, so we're in like the middle of a rain delay. And then they're like, hey, like, we'll just pick this back up tomorrow. We'll play a doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Saturday. Like, we'll be fine. And it's like, okay, we go home. When we get back, like, home, we get a text and it's like, hey, meet back at the clubby. So we go back to the clubhouse and they're like, hey, season's over. Like, Fresno's on their way back home right now. Season's done. Go home. Like, basically the same thing. It was like, hey, like, get out of here. We played our last game against you guys.
Yeah, I remember that because that was my 3rd collegiate outing. My first collegiate outing was at Hawaii Pacific at Hawaii Pacific, and so that was not fun. I was facing my teammate who was for my last year college ball, or not my last year, my second to last year. He came over and did a grad transfer. Joe Gallagher. Mm-hmm. He remembers this probably to this day too. I threw of course I was a lefty throwing like 80 to 84 my freshman year, and I just had no sort of swag, no sort of pitching idea about me, like no sort of like sequencing. I was just gonna like try and come at you with a fastball and try and get you out and try and throw a curveball off of it, and that was just not obviously. I'm pretty sure I threw him a first pitch fastball and he hammered it over the left field fence, and I was like, okay, this is college baseball. That was my intro. And then
there, Jim.
The funny thing was before that, it was like I went in like my idea of what college baseball was so like blindsided a little bit coming into the Pac West, because the first game we played my freshman year was against Hawaii Manoa as a exhibition game. And I remember I stepped out of the dugout and we're at their stadium and there was 1,500 fans in that stands, and I was like, okay, this is college baseball. This is sick. And then like you
go to Fresno Pacific.
You get to Fresno Pacific, or you get to Academy of the Art, and there's like
you're playing at a fucking Alameda City Park.
Yeah, there's like 40 people, dude. Half of them are girlfriends and parents.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, that like the change up in college experience, I think everyone kind of goes through, whether it's like right away or eventually down the road. I remember we played just a little scrum inter squad game, and I faced one of our senior guys, little lefty. Well, not little, he was huge, but in my eyes, it was like, okay, I'm taller than him. I'm just gonna blow his doors off. Leave first pitch fastball low and in, and he hammers it over the right, like first at bat, that I threw in college. Taken deep, and I'm just looking around like,
your first college hitter was a home run?
Well, it was like not like in league or anything. It was just like a scrimmage.
Oh no, my first like in season hitter in college was a home run too. So I was like, no way that was also the case.
Diggy, the thing that you don't understand is you thought I played in season, so that's your first mistake. You got to be able to play in.
And they got hurt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
fair enough.
So Jake, I'm gonna take over a little bit just because I like to yap as well. So me just sitting here, I'm like rubbing my hands together. I was like, I did for you. So I did a little stalking. Just gonna put that out there because you're gonna be like, how does this know so much about me? But I see you throw, and I see you have like a fitness page, and I see that you post a lot about your mechanics and all that. And there's one guy, I love to do player comparison when we have guys on here. There's one guy that I see a lot when I watch you throw. Maybe not the way he starts it, because he has a weird thing he does when he starts his windup, which whatever. Do you have a guy that you say you modeled your pitching after before I say who I think you look like? Or is it kind of you picked the ball up, you started throwing, that's the way you threw?
So honestly, like when it came to like pitching mechanics and stuff like that, it was kind of one of my pitching coaches wanted me to have high arm side, and then one of my pitching coaches didn't really care, and he was like, as long as you get your arm up in the back and you're just throwing downhill, like, so it's just kind of like I made like a mixed blend there. I didn't really model anything after anybody. My favorite pitcher is Trevor Bauer, so I keep watching his videos to just try and like I kind of want to model my mechanics after him a little bit, but I don't know.
So
I'm interested.
Did you get the sword?
love the.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Dickie love Trevor Bauer, so that's a great comp. And I notice when you throw, you don't necessarily step across your body. You may. It's just from what I've seen, it doesn't really look like you come across your body and throw the other way.
Yeah.
But dude, other than this little glove bullshit that he does, bro, you look like Sean Doolittle.
Sean Doolittle. Okay.
Bro, you might not see it right away, but I was looking up like side by sides because I had your Instagram up and I was on YouTube, and I was like, bro, you look like Sean Doolittle. You even have like a hand thing that you go up a little bit and it's just bullets downhill. And I'm like, holy shit. Obviously, I didn't think you grew up and you're like, I'm gonna be like Sean Doolittle.
That's World Series champion Sean Doolittle.
Bro, that's what I see, and that's what I think it looks like. So that's kind of my testament to what I see in your game. One of the other things I also wanted to bring up too, and like I said, I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. How the hell does school work, brother, when you play and live in Hawaii? You got to go travel and play in another, well, like obviously in another state, but you're going over to the ocean to go play. How does school work? Like, are you drained mentally when it comes to that stuff?
Dude, that was kind of the most eye-opening thing too. I'm glad you asked that question because like a lot of people you kind of get a lot of people that like their initial worry when going out to Hawaii is that dude, it's all like, so our teachers, like we let them know a week in advance. They kind of have their lesson plans already kind of set up. They let you know like what you're gonna miss. If you have tests to take, sometimes they'll have you take them early. Our coach actually is willing to proctor tests on the road. So sometimes our teachers will give like the test to the coach and whatnot, and then they'll have them proctor it, which is so silly because it's just like our coach just sits in a room on his phone and we're just sitting there taking a test. Like they don't care about anything, bro. But honestly, the teachers out in Hawaii were so unbelievably accommodating that it was like you miss something because you're on an athletic road trip for 2 weeks. Like you come back and it says missing or it's not in your grade book or something like that, or you have a 0 to 10 on it or something. They're so accommodating to the point where like they'll like give like catch you up to speed, like give you the paperwork, you fill it out. But like a lot of going over the like ocean to go play, like they kind of have everything already laid out. So if you don't have your shit taken care of when you're out there, then it's kind of like, okay, you're just taking this as a vacation. You're not really living that like student athlete life, like because like especially for my teachers, like I can't speak for the rest of my teammates, but a lot of my teachers, they already had like it was all like after COVID made everything super easy too. Everything was online. Like we didn't turn in any paper stuff, like you guys know it too. Like everything was online, and so like basically like by having everything being online, like there was no, and our teachers would record their lectures and stuff like that. So if you needed to watch a lecture, you could watch a lecture online. But
they made it where there was no excuses too if you were missing.
There was just zero excuses at all. Like I remember like I missed an assignment one time, and I think it was for my like sociology 200 class or something like that. And they were like, my teacher was just unforgiving about it. I remember she's like, you're on the road trip. Like, I don't like, she's like, even though you're on the road trip, she's like, I don't care. Like, you knew that it was due. Like, you watched the lecture. I know you watched the lecture, but like, you knew it was due at this time. To get to your point though, the big issue about traveling over and doing like school was the time difference. because we're 3 hours. So we were in California. They're 3 hours ahead. So like, I'd be like, for say like it's 8 o'clock, or not 8 o'clock. Let's say it's like 12 a.m. and and an assignment's due at 12 a.m. You like for submission, and you're like, oh crap, homework's due, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, it's really earlier there, so you've got plenty of time. Like,
I had like the opposite where it was we had something due when we went to Hawaii, and it was like due at 10 o'clock, and we went out there, and I was like looking, and I was like, oh, it's only 9, like I can get this done, boom, 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 and I was like, wait, back home it's 11 o'clock right now. So after I did it and submitted it, and it was like late, and I was like, how is this late? I'm literally looking at the time, and I was like, oh, time change is a thing.
yeah.
So with your guys' schedule, did they? I feel like I should have paid attention to this more while we were playing against each other. But did they separate it at all, where you guys were doing like you're playing home for 3 weeks straight, and then you're going on the road for 3 weeks straight, or was it like kind of like ours, where it was like 1 week you're at home, then you're gone, like you're basically taking a flight every other week?
So we played like 2 or 3 home series, and then we were out. Then we were off to Oahu, or we were off to the mainland. So yeah, I would say like 2-3 weeks, 2-3 weeks at home. Then we would take a flight, and then 2-3 weeks at home, and then take another flight. The nice ones that I liked was going to Oahu, just because of how easy it was.
Yeah.
45-minute flight, like to go play another team. It's like, all right, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Now my last year of college ball, where we had to go out there like 2 or 3 times, that was a little nuts, because we went to the mainland, then from the mainland back, and then we played Hawaii Pacific there, came back, played Hawaii Pacific there, came back, and then played Chaminade there and came back. And I remember it was nice playing Chaminade, because Chaminade would use Les Marcami, which is the Manoa Stadium.
Oh, wow.
When they weren't they used Manoa's stadium when Manoa wasn't in town, so they had basically kind of worked their schedule around Manoa's, which was pretty cool. I like that stadium. So
I never got the experience to play them. They came the year after I was gone.
Okay, yeah, it was. They were good. Like, I will say, like, I think a lot of my teammates and including me myself, I think that we all came in with the expectation of like their New Year program, like coming straight into Division II, like recruiting like pretty heavy out of Hawaii. Like, I have one buddy that went there from Washington, but other than that, like, I don't know any guys that are not local guys. Like, I've got like there's one of my buddies on my team in Hilo, his brother went to Chaminade, but they were good. Like, they were.
I heard they had a guy throwing like 97 or something.
They had
a freshman.
They had a dude that was throwing nines. He was pretty good. You know who surprised me too was we got out to California, and we played Westmont. And first year program into Division II, because they were NAI before. Actually my pitching coach out here, he went to them, like he played for them when they were NAI. But Division II, we kind of like, and our guys, like, I'm sure your guys did the same thing. Like, they'll look at the like ranking and stuff like that, and look at the look at win losses in the conference and stuff.
Yeah.
And they saw like Westmont was just killing teams. Like, just like any team that was rolling into their house, like they were just beating them. And I think our team was like who are these guys? Like, they're NAI, like they were just out of NAI, and those dudes could ball. They had like
I played them when they were. Sorry, go ahead.
No, they had like 2 or 3 like starters that were throwing low to mid nines. So
I remember we played them when they were still NAI, and it was the same thing. We kind of just went in there like, yeah, all right, let's go take care of business. And we played 4 games, and I think we split with them. And that bus ride back, dude, was like kind of like identity changing. Like, we were kind of like, are we not as good as we thought we were? But then they went on that year to win like the NAI World Series, and so it was like, all right, like they're obviously not a bad team. Yeah. And then they walked into D2, and then kind of, I think, did they finish first, second, and then they just couldn't make the playoffs because of they were new.
Yeah, and then they got it. So they're supposed to do 2 years, but they don't make the playoffs, and then they kind of protested that with the Pac West, and they got it approved. So this year they could make the playoffs if they want to.
I was gonna say that was the only reason that APU snuck into the tournament last year was because they got the 4 seed because Westmont couldn't make it.
Westmont couldn't, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Kind of have some things to pick with you, Jake. So you mentioned that you hit. Are you a left-handed hitter or are you a right-handed hitter?
Lefty hitter.
Okay, so you're normal. Okay, perfect. So one of my questions is, do people ever give you shit for being a lefty? Did you ever have to grow up with that, like, oh, here comes the lefty? Because I know the buddy up top right there, he definitely had to deal with a couple of, because he was a lefty thrower, righty hitter. He was backward. He basically saw Bryce Harper and said, nah, I'm good.
You say hitter like actually like took hitting like serious.
Yeah, but still,
all right.
Like, dude, you were all.
I went up and stood there right-handed.
So, has anyone ever was it like, those little kid things like, oh, here comes the lefty, the lefty? Did you ever get that, or was it kind of like, nah, like no one really ever gave you the lefty shit?
No, I mean, I definitely got my fair share of it. I pitched the thing is I only really pitched in like high school and stuff like that. So like they didn't really like, I always played outfield. Like I played like my 4 years of high school baseball. I started in the outfield. Like I pitched maybe 15 innings in high school. Like, yeah, I know, right? 15 innings in high school. And so they were like, I don't know. I kind of got it a little bit, but like it was only when I stepped on the mound, they were like, oh, like lefty. They would call me like Wild Thing because they're just like I just had zero command. Like, and I knew I had zero command because it was just like my thought process going into baseball was like, okay, like, and I'm like I was a center fielder. Okay, catch ball, throw to target, like throw to whoever, throw to cut man, like or throw to like base, like you know what I mean, like. So it wasn't really like any sort of like intent, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
And then once I get on the mound, it's like an intent. It's like, all right, just like focus in and hit the catcher's glove. And I'm like getting like hyper fixated on like the catcher's glove. I'm like, dude, I just can't, like, I don't know. It was like the first couple, and it's still, but like I'm working on it. Like my command's not the best, but it's better than it has been. But I don't know. It was like hyper fixating on like the target. Like screwed me up, dude. Like I don't know, and so then that's where I got like, oh, lefty Wild Thing. Like,
no, I mean, I think that's cool though because at the end of the day, it kind of makes you a wild card factor. Like you don't really know, you don't even know what you're gonna get. Like you could just be pinpointing, and then all of a sudden the other team's like, oh fuck, like what do we do, brother? Like then they're all out of whack. I have a story I want to tell you. There was a guy I played with in high school on my travel team. He was an outfielder hitter, hit the shit out of the ball and was really fast. For some reason, I mean, not for some reason, we knew how good his arm was from throwing in the outfield. There were scouts there, and one of our coaches said, hey, hop on the mound. Just get up there. Dude gets up there with his glasses on still from the outfield, hat on. Just didn't look like a pitcher. Gets up there and just starts hucking the ball. Hits 94. And so he ends up getting an offer and commits to Utah, not in that day. But what I'm trying to say is he walks off the mound, and I'm just like, brother, where did that come from? Like, what made you do all that? And, like, how was your – I'm, like, trying to break down mechanically. And he goes, brother, I just try to throw it hard as fuck. Like, that was his mindset. I just went up hard as fuck. Who cares where it went? So I think that's a good mindset to have. Like, at the end of the day, you can't take the dog out of someone. You just got to go up there and huck it.
Yep. Brendan, you know who that reminds me of?
Who?
Casey Dykstra.
Oh, Dykstra too, yeah.
Tell me not, dude. I was gonna say, but so this kid, dude, I will tell you, like we were like just a dog in the outfield, first of all. Like he had good arm, really good speed, just was a dog, like hitting outfield, like playing against him was competitive just because he was a fighter. And so We thought we'd seen enough. Like we were like we're losing at Azusa Pacific. We thought we'd seen enough. We're like, okay, like let's just get out of here. Like let's just get out of here. Let's go home. Like let's sleep it off. Like let's come back and let's try and win a ball game. But that game, I remember we were like down like 4, maybe 5, probably more than that. But I'm probably underplaying it. But all of a sudden, the coach like pulls the center fielder, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And then he what do you call it? He put another center fielder out. The next inning, Casey's on the mound, and we're like, who's this guy? and he's humming like nines, and we're like, dude, this kid plays outfield. Like Andy
They
starts
found that
throwing
out on
around.
accident. They
Yeah,
found that out on accident, dude. So like APU are like pitching recovery was like non-existent. It was basically like you if you want to recover, go ahead. Like if you want to do drive line, go ahead. If you want to do this, like it was basically like, and you got to do it on your own time. Like
yeah,
when it's practice time, it's practice time. You better do all your stuff beforehand or after if you want to recover, basically. And so we had so many arm injuries, and it was like every year towards the back half of the year, it would just be like, all right, which outfielder wants to pitch, or which position guy wants to throw, like who wants to throw a bullpen. So like every year we would literally have like bullpen day halfway through the year where all like some of the position guys where if they were asked to throw a bullpen would throw bullpens. And every now and then you would see a guy run up a 94 or 93 and it would be like, all right, let's figure out how to get you on the mound. Because at first it's like it's all over the place or it's just a fastball. So it's like the thing with Dykstra that made Dykstra effective was that he went up there through 94, but then also had like a slider that broke like
yeah.
a
It was
good amount
fast. Yeah,
too. So as long as he had two pitches, he can go out there and throw an inning.
yeah, exactly. No, he
And then
was
now I
great
think
too.
he just hung up the cleats I think this week,
Yeah,
but
I
when he was
saw
out there
that.
playing, he was pitching.
Yeah, no, he was seemed to be doing good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I follow him on Instagram and whatnot, so he seemed to be doing good. No, dude, but when it comes to post throw, I wanted to talk about that too. You guys were not the only people. You guys were not the only people that our coaches had a little bit of a different philosophy though. They were like, okay, run. Like they were like who was the pitcher? Nolan Ryan
Yep.
they were like, oh, he ran and ran and ran and ran and ran because and that was what made his arm healthy and that's like all the coaches like claim to fame as far as
Yep.
why all pitchers run and stuff like that. Dude, we used to run so much in Hilo, bro. Like pitchers would run poles. If you before the game, our coach would make us do like warm up poles, which like keep in mind like I was a closer.
You don't need to
So
warm up 4 hours before the
so
game.
I'm doing like warm up pulls to like go sit in the bullpen. um, but bro, we like some of the guys will tell you too. We would run from the stadium to downtown. We would run from the stadium all the way or the park um, by the hotels. We'd run around the park
Yeah.
and then back down the street and then around. You never got to play at our practice facility. We have a practice facility up at the field, like up at the school. It's a perfect field too. I don't know why we don't play up there. Our
Mm-hmm.
coach claims it doesn't rain as much up there, but I feel like it rains up there a little bit more, but it's not like I would say noticeable. But
I love the stadium vibe that you guys play at now, though.
yeah, it's cool. We have, dude. I wish you could see that because it was like we still have that stadium kind of vibe. It's just not as it's not as long.
Mm.
Um, but no, and then like that was the worst part was running from our practice facility because our practice facility, like it's up on the hill, so it's either you're running downhill to come back up or you're
Yeah.
running uphill to come back down. So
And
it's like you weren't winning either way running off campus.
I
Over
remember
there.
I can't even imagine because it's kind of humid over there too. Like when it's off and on, sometimes raining, and we had to
Oh
run when our van broke down after playing you guys one of our games, and we were the last van to leave because it was our trainer. So we rode with our trainer, so he was packing up all of his stuff. All the other vans take off, and then we get the van in, and it won't start. And Casey Yamamuchi tried to come and like jumpstart it, and it wouldn't
the
start.
kid,
Like it was
yeah.
like blah blah, and so coach came back and was like, "All right, like I'm gonna pick up Charlie. Everybody else just run back." And so we had to like run back, and it was so humid, and so like the distance back, I can't even imagine doing that every day, and especially like warm ups before games.
Okay, so the running like around that area was not before games. That was like okay,
Yeah,
you threw a bullpen or you threw in an inner squad or our starters. Like I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of them, like one of them being my roommate that I had that I was roommates with my last year. Like our coach would like make them run. Like they would go off like during the game. Like a lot of the time, the first like 2-3 innings, you wouldn't see our starter from last game because they're out running.
uh, that makes
So
sense. We would have us like do that during like warm ups, and they would just
yeah,
give us a stopwatch, and it says like come back when the stopwatch is at 30.
fair enough.
How about you get out of your dorm and you're walking to the field and you see a thin layer of snow on the field. And as you're going into the clubhouse and you're changing into your gear, you're thinking to yourself, I really don't want to go outside, let alone go run right now. But yet you get outside and you hear the snow crunch underneath your cleats, and your skipper tells you, get on the line. Because that's what I had to go through, Jake. That's
Dude,
what
that's
it was.
crazy. That's
Dude,
wild.
running in
And
the
Jared was at Mesa.
running in the cold, bro, your lungs it just felt like they were on fire. On fire. And I
Running in
was
the cold's the worst, bro. I'm out here in Arizona and it's 50, and I'm trying to do sprints and I'm freezing. So
Oh, dude. I was on, dude. And the thing is, I was already a chunky monkey as it is. So running already, I was like, just huffing and puffing. So it was all bad.
dude, I can't imagine, bro. The snow is just dude. I don't know. Just the snow with baseball is just not a good combination. I had a buddy that played out in, I think it was Concordia, Wisconsin, and he told me they had a cool indoor facility, like because I played in the Northwoods, so going out there I got to experience that facility. But he told me, like, dude, because they're a D3, like, and their coaches don't do anything over there for like snow. Like, I don't know if you guys had to shovel snow off the field or whatnot, but their coach had them shoveling snow off the field, which is so wild.
Jake, the worst text you could get when you're playing ball at my college was say like you had to be at the field around like 9:30 in the morning. The worst text you can get is that night before, being like, show up to the field at 7, and it's like, bring your boots because you were shoveling snow. So you would already have to get there before just to get the snow off the field to then practice to go to the game. It was bad.
Yeah, you had that. I had hey, make sure we're pulling the tarp off the field at 7:45 a.m. and make sure you're wearing shorts because we're gonna be sponging the field. That's like,
Dude, I didn't even.
I forgot about sponging.
Harp was probably your guys' best friend.
dude, the tarp was our best friend, and we didn't know how to. We didn't like figure out like any sort of funneling process the first couple of years, so we were just dumping it all into left field, all that water. So the left fielder was like, anybody's left fielder was just not our friend. And of course, we had to deal with them. We had to deal with them the whole time because our bullpen's right there.
Do you remember the COVID year when we were playing you guys, and our left fielder and right fielder both went for a fly ball, and
Dude,
they both
yes.
called it and
It's
stopped, and they both tried to plant their feet and both slide
flip.
and then
Yep.
both fall in the live stream. Like they don't make contact with each other. It's not like a collision. They just both trip and fall, and the ball drops right in between them.
Dude,
Just
it's
like
in the
boom.
depths, but if you go into Foul Pole Sports, that's on Foul Pole Sports.
I think I remember that.
You remember that, dude? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to scroll that because that'll be. I want to get that one on the Instagram, so I'll scroll back and find that one.
Dude, that's no, I remember that. And my that was actually the kid that hit. That was a kid from Japan that we recruited. He was Tepe. He was our catcher at the time, and so like I remember everybody was like, "Oh, everybody's like, that ball's caught." And I remember I was in the bullpen and I'm a long reliever, and so at the time, and so they were running towards each other and they slipped and fell. I was like, and that was like the first like rain incident that I've seen. I was like, what? I was like,
I was pitching. You can see the video. I just go like,
no way. You were pitching that game?
yeah.
Oh, bro.
So literally, like I just like turn around and make the pitch, and it's like I remember the announcer. It's like, and the fly ball in the left center, and they both fall.
You're like that meme of the white cat, like sitting on that chair, just like
yeah.
Yeah, that was the game. That was the last game right before baseball got shut down.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna bounce into a little bit of a game real quick because we got a few of them, so I want to space them out. This one's it's blind ranking Pac West mascots, and it's just the OG. It's the OG one, so I don't have like Westmont's not on here, and I didn't put APU or Hilo on here, so there's no biases.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we got 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst, and you don't know what's coming. It's just 1 by 1, right? So the first one we got the Fresno Pacific Sunbirds.
Dude, that's got to be a 4. Like 4 being the worst, like, or no, 5 being the worst. 5 being the worst. Yeah, 5 being the worst. But that's just bad, dude.
Yeah. Number 2, the Sunbirds.
Yeah.
Number 2, we got the Point Loma Sea Lions.
I'm gonna put them at a 3.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, dude. A sea
lion's not that threatening.
No, like I don't know, dude. It's just don't get me wrong. Point Loma's colors are tough. Their colors are tough. Everything about that like school setup is cool, but like the Sea Lions, brother, like
The thing
I,
is,
I heard a rumor. Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys. This is not my thing.
No, you're good.
The thing is, if you're on the beach, the coolest thing you can think of is a sea lion. Like, bro, you're on the beach. They'd be a shark.
okay,
That's Pacific.
that's Hawaii Pacific, yeah.
Oh,
Those are Sharks. And then Monterey Bay's the Otters. So there's stuff that's already taken. But I heard that Point Loma's
I would have put
campus
you guys at number 1 then. I would have put you guys at 1.
Point Loma's campus
was it used to be an old cult. It was called like Loma Land or something like that. And then it got shut down, and then like the area they built like a college off of it.
What?
I gotta confirm if that's true or not. That's what I'm saying. It's just
you gotta confirm.
that's what we heard.
That's crazy. If so,
yeah, we heard it used to be called Loma Land or something like that. It was like a cult. All right, number 3, we got this is a throwback, but it's the Holy Name Hawks. R.I.P. Holy Names.
dude. Holy Names, probably the Hawks, probably a 2. Dude, they were and like I don't like I'm just to throw it back. Like they were playing at Alameda, but like those uniforms that with like I think some of them said Hawks, some of them said names and stuff like that on them. But like those were sweet uniforms. Like I think that they probably like if we went uniform ranking, I think they would probably be my favorite uniforms in the Pac West. Like
they're right there, yeah. I remember that last year they had the powder blues too.
The powder blues, the pinstripes. They had so many different cool uniforms.
I like that one. Number 4, we got the Academy of Art Urban Knights.
5.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
5. That's crazy.
I feel like Knights could have been. What is an urban knight?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious.
And your school's called Academy of Art.
And their mascot wasn't even like they didn't really even have a mascot. Like so when you look at like the other schools and stuff like that, and like we would get to see like when we were at APU the cougar. Mm-hmm. Like I never saw the urban knight. It was always like just the triangle, like their big like.
Dude, yeah, I had to Google for like 5 minutes trying to figure out what their mascot was.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess it's the Urban Knights. I remember, yeah, their jerseys always had like this little patch right here.
It had the triangle patch. Yeah.
It always just said art.
Yeah.
That's what. Which leaves your number 1, the Hawaii Pacific Sharks.
Yeah, I like Hawaii Pacific Sharks. I think that's fitting. I don't know.
So you got Sharks, Sea Lions, or it was Sharks, Hawks, Sea Lions, Sunbirds, Urban Knights.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably where I have it. That's a good
one. I mean, yeah, that's probably the best lineup I would say. Because, dude, yeah, that's wild. I don't know. I was gonna say what is like, dude. Did you see all the other teams that have gotten pushed into the Pac West too, bro? Like
Menlo College,
Menlo, and Vanguard,
and then isn't it like Hope International coming soon too or something?
Hope International's coming. They closed down a couple other schools too. Like they closed down, I think. But they closed down. They closed down the one. Holy Names
and Art.
And Art, yeah. So I mean, I guess give and take, but give 2, take 4. And
yeah, that's rough.
It's an interesting strat.
They're gonna have to add one to like the CCAA or something.
Yeah. Well, they've also always been talking about pushing up. I've always heard that they were talking about pushing you guys up to D1, and they were always talking about pushing Point Loma up to D1.
I think that we started to take steps to that when we cut our football program, but then like something about like the funding with the school and I don't know, just the recruiting. Like I don't think that our sports can really keep up with D1 right now. Yeah. We haven't even won conference in like 3 years.
Well, it's when you have Point Loma in the conference, it's kind of hard too.
They need Loma to go D1. No football team, good funding, good campus, good field. Like that's a D1 field.
Yeah. Competitive ball too.
Yeah, I think they're next. It was like UCSD, then it was Cal Bab, and now you got to take just the next powerhouse right now. That's
exactly. But like, where would you put them?
Yeah, that's a good point too. I don't
even
know.
Would you put them in the WAC?
Maybe like because you got all the UC San Diego's down there, USD.
Yeah, GCU.
Can I
GCU.
Can I have like a hand up moment and like a moment of weakness moment?
No, you can actually just like sign out. Me and Jake are good. We'll take it from here.
All right. Hey, Jake, I appreciate you, bro.
Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, I'm just so disappointed in myself. Not only did I not have my research good? I'm over here saying Point Loma should be the Sharks and all that. I find out that it's not even fucking. There's already a shark in here, and then Hilo's the Sharks. Jake, do you think I'm a dumbass, brother? Like, I wouldn't even blame you if you do. Like, you probably I'm just a waste of space over here. I'm so sorry. Hand up. Moment of weakness over here.
You said you thought Hilo was the Sharks?
Dude, yeah, apparently, yeah.
No, they're the Vulcans.
The Vulcans, yeah.
Lakers were at this point with Luka, but
the Hilo Vulcans. I like that one too.
No
That's
way
why
you brought.
I
No
put
way
that
you
one on
brought
here, so
up.
the
No way
easy
you
one.
brought up Luka, bro. No way you brought up Luka.
Hey, brother, we'll bring up anything. We'll bring up hockey. We're just ball knowers over here.
I was gonna say, bro. Did you see like all the trade rumors and stuff too? They're like talking about like, oh, LeBron's gonna go to Golden State. This is setting him up perfect for Golden State because he didn't find out about like, because apparently like he always has like a say in the trades that go on, which I don't know.
I've always been I've been telling Dickie this. Give him Braun as long as we keep Brawny, baby.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the trade-off. It's like where I will draft your son as long as you stay out of our meetings.
Well, hey, since we kind of brought up knowing ball a little bit, not to get off basketball because I could talk basketball a little bit, but I want to bring it over to MLB because I have a kind of a theory and a thought that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on. So we're just now seeing the pitch clock get implemented, right?
Yeah.
And you can argue that it has its flaws and benefits. I kind of lean on more of the benefit sides than the flaws, but it's here nor there. Do you think the pitch clock over time will give an advantage to the hitter or the pitcher? Because you're seeing guys swipe more bags. You're seeing guys get on base a little bit more than in past recent years. The strikeouts are going up that's just how the game is going. But you're also seeing Triple Crown winners in pitching now. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen Triple Crown winners in pitching before, but you had both of them in the same year with Tarek Skubal and Chris Sale. Where do you guys think it's going to go? Do you think it's going to favor the hitter or the pitcher more over time?
Dude.
Nick, you can. This is for you too. Jake, don't feel like this is just a question towards you.
I just didn't want to interrupt. I mean, if you want time to think on it, I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that it could help out. I mean, obviously, it helps out the hitting side more on the base running side because you do see like with the increased size of bases and only being able to pick off twice that the stolen bases are increasing. But so I think that favors like the runners more than the hitters. But in terms of hitter versus pitcher, I think the pitcher, because I saw a study where it's like if you can release the next pitch, like if you can throw a pitch and then release another one like 15 seconds or sooner, it kind of like looks the same to the hitter for a second. Like it messes with their mind or the eyes a little bit. Like they need time to reset before it sees the same thing out of the hand or whatever. So I think that pitchers that tunnel pitches off of the same plane really well, it'll benefit them. But if you're a pitcher that's just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna throw in a fastball up and in, and then I'm gonna change up low and away, and then I'm gonna elevate a fastball, and then I'm gonna throw it outside, and like just not tunneling anything, and just kind of like, all right, let's see if this works. I think that's not really an advantage. But I think if you're like, okay, I'm gonna up and out with my fastball, and then I'm gonna start the slider there and have it break off of that plane, and you can kind of just play with hitters' minds all game. I think that's where it's like helping people like Sale and Skubal, because I mean Sale has never won a Triple Crown before, and he's how old? You know, it's not like Skubal where it's like he's in his prime. You know, where you're like, oh, Skubal's doing this. Like Chris Sale didn't have the pitch clock for a long time, and then now has it, and it was his first kind of healthy season with it, and he dominated.
Yeah, he did. Dude, I'm with you on that. I don't think like it's gonna help the hitter that much, dude. Because honestly, like, yeah, it helps swipe bags and stuff like that. And I just think that the hitters, it's putting them in such an uncomfortable situation because like a lot of them like get in the box, like to put their hand up, get set and stuff like that. And then a lot of the umpires are not even forgiving on that, like giving them time to like, get their set routine in the box. Like some of them are so unforgiving as far as that I think it just like like if you establish strike one in a setting like that, it's gonna be kind of hard to bounce back from that because like being behind 0-1, it's just like, you know what I mean. It's you already dug yourself in kind of a little bit of a hole there, so it's just kind of hard to dig yourself out of it. So I don't know, and I always see like the stupid because they can still call time the hitter, so they would call time step out, and like you always see like the guys that are already like set on the mound ready to go, like
just waiting for him.
Because at that point it's just like they just got like baited into that because of the pitch clock.
Yeah, hitters don't like being thrown off their timing. They don't like being rushed.
I kind of think of it like, and I agree with what you guys are saying. I think if you can hit, that's never going to be an issue, regardless if they give you a timer or not. Hitters hit. That's what people are saying in sports and in terms of baseball. What I think will start happening is I do think that pitchers will start having more dominant seasons, and you will maybe even start seeing more pitchers like your Clayton Kershaws be up for MVP votings. But with that being said, I think injuries are about to go through the roof. I think injuries already are one of the main things why pitchers can't be as dominant and why a lot of guys' careers are kind of, is he a Hall of Famer? Because at the end of the day, if you're spending 4 to 5 years just recovering, trying to get healthy versus the 8 you were good playing, is that a Hall of Fame career? You can make the argument of that. You have guys going on their second Tommy Johns. And I don't think the pitch clock is necessarily the reason for that, but it's not helping when you have a guy that has to give 15 pitches in a short amount of span like that, firing bullets. Because let's be real, these guys have freaking firearms on their bodies, bro. They're firing fastballs that go from 98 to 102. Like it's a different game now.
Yeah,
Guys
so different.
Shoulders and elbows.
And even back then, like even 10 years ago, the only guys that you would see throwing 100 plus were throwing one inning. And now you got starters, like 50% of the starters throw 100 plus now. And you're throwing that for 6-7 innings. That's got to do something to an arm.
So impressive too, dude. Jeez.
So impressive.
Yeah.
I would say you get like Paul
Skeens?
Paul Skeens, dude. Just like in his like last pitch of his outing, throwing like 100, 101, bro. It's like, wow.
One of my favorite baseball stats, and I could get the miles per hour mixed up. I could be off by 1 or 2, but Nolan Ryan's last ever pitch he threw in the major leagues before he like literally shattered his elbow in like 4 pieces, he clocked at like 95 or 96. Last fastball he threw it, looked at his elbow, was like, "Yeah, we're done." Waved to the crowd, walked off the field, never played again. That's nails, dude. That's nails.
That's goat shit.
Oh, that's my go.
That's awesome.
If you guys don't mind, I'd like to play a little game with you two.
Do it.
All right. So how this game works is what I need from you two, and this is a competition, Jake, so don't feel like you gotta get that, you gotta get dick roll. Your goal is to give me the team. I'm gonna start off by giving you a year, followed by 3 players. If you can guess it off the first name I give you, that's 3 points. If I have to give you the second name and you guess it, that's 2. If I have to give you the last name and you guess it, it's 1. So it'll get easier as I give you guesses.
Okay.
So, with that being said, we'll start off relatively easy. Let me go. Okay, we'll start off relatively easy. We'll go the year's 2019.
Okay.
Your first clue, Jan Gomes.
Okay, wasn't that
You're not penalized for guessing, by the way. You get 1 guess per name. So if you two both want to throw out a guess and you're wrong, it won't. It's not like
wasn't that the Nationals?
Final answer?
Yeah, sure.
With a strong 3-pointer off the bat, Jake gets.
I was gonna say the Rangers.
I was thinking I was between that and the White Sox, dude. And I was probably not the White Sox.
Wow, impressive. That's what the World Series Washington Nationals.
Sorry, I'm switching over here because I need to plug the good old iPad in.
Oh, you're good.
Oh yeah, sorry. We should have probably let you know that this app drains battery. So
no, you're totally chilling.
I'll wait till you get set up and I'll start ripping them again. No rush.
You're good.
All good.
Are you also like in a rush right now? Or you got anything to do?
No, I'm not in a rush, dude. Yeah, we're chilling.
I was like, I want to make sure that you're like not late for anything.
You're totally chilling.
We just yap.
Yeah, for sure. Cut us off whenever we.
All
right. Next one. 2016. Okay, so our first name, we have Aroldis Chapman.
Kansas City Royals.
Final answer?
Oh, 2016?
Jake, you can go too. You can throw in a guess.
Yeah, Kansas City Royals.
Nah, I've got the Chicago Cubs.
And Jake with another 3-pointer. That's the Chicago.
I was like, he didn't play on the Royals till like 2022, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That is already a 6-point lead at a Jake starting off strong. I did not think that would be so easy.
Oh, dude, that was the play. That was the World Series where him and Andrew Miller were just going.
That was
big nuts.
that was easier than the first one, dude. The only reason I remember that was didn't they win it in 2016 and he was like lights out.
See, I thought if I gave you the other names before Chapman, you guys would have got it right away. If I would have gave you Jason Hayward, would you have got it?
Yeah, I probably would have.
And Ben Zobrist?
Yeah.
See,
Ben Zobrist is the goat.
Okay then, boys. You think you're solid? Let's go 2018.
2018.
We'll go Brian Dozier.
I've got the Twins.
Dickie?
I'll just go a different answer. I'll go the Pirates.
Dickie, right. Your teeth kicked in. That is the Twins. Jake, you are running away with this. It's not even close.
0-3.
This is just like justifying how big of a baseball nerd I am, bro.
This is why. No, I'm just even like that too, but it's just like the game. This is why I put so much effort in like my mini games because like when I play mini games, I'm fucking terrible at them, dude.
Jake, we love fellow ball knowers, bro. So this is perfect. All right, so we have 2 more. Dickie, I think it's already over, but we'll play.
Yeah.
It is not 0. We'll go 2011.
Oh, dude, you're gonna get me lost.
We'll go Skip Schumacher.
Cardinals.
Dude, I don't even know who Skip Schumacher is.
Well, that's good because Dickie gets the point. It is the Cardinals. Wow, boys.
Nice. Very good.
We're just nasty ball knowers. You guys getting up off the first hint.
I had to get that one back. Yeah, apparently I didn't know fucking Aroldis Chapman, but I know Skip Schumacher.
Dude, I don't know who Skip Schumacher is.
The thing though is that I don't remember him playing for any other team. So that's the thing. Like, if it was a different year, Skip Schumacher, where he was like, if he played on like the Rays or something, I don't know. I only remember seeing Schumacher in a Cardinals jersey.
Really? What about the Dodgers? Skip Schumacher?
Nope.
Really? Yeah, he played on it. He played for the Dodgers for a little bit. Unless I'm
the Frank McCourt days were kind of dark for me. So
yeah, the other names I had listed anyways were Matt Holliday and David Freese. So I feel like Jake, you would have got them off of.
Oh. Yeah, I got David Freese. Matt Holliday was the Cardinals. Probably?
Yeah. Okay, so the last one I got going to be the hardest one in my opinion. 2008.
Oh wow.
Okay, so for the first name, I got Phil Hughes.
Phillies?
Okay, good guess.
That's a good guess. I think it's either the either the Phillies or the Yankees.
Dickie, that's a Yankee.
Oh,
nice.
My dad was a Yankee fan, so I grew up like watching Yankee games as a kid.
I was Phil Hughes, Melky Cabrera, Robinson Cano.
Oh yeah, I would have got those 2.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Dickie, but even with that late,
right.
Jake still takes the game.
That's all right. I didn't get shut out. That's improvement.
That's good, yeah, dude. And you know more old ball than I do, bro. I'm not good at old ball, apparently, dude. Which is funny too, because one thing I remember is, dude, I always used to remember playing like when we had the Wii, bro, like 2K8 with the like the controller and the nunchucks.
Yeah. Jared was more of a Just Dance guy.
Oh, jeez.
I actually did play Just Dance. I hate you for exposing me like that. Bro, Just Dance was nails. What are we talking about? You just be in there like, oh, hitting it.
Sorry, I'm guilty for playing Rock Band, bro. Rock Band was it, bro.
Were you a drum guy?
No, I did have a set of the drums, but I was not good at those, and I could play the guitar. I was good at the guitar.
Oh, okay.
Bro, what are we talking?
Get the band going. I got the drums.
Pleasure. Rock Band's awesome. Like what?
Yeah.
I love Rock Band.
Right, yeah, Rock Band was a good one.
Oh man.
So we'll jump right in just to another little mini activity here for you, and I want you to give your Mount Rushmore of lefties.
Oh man. My Mount Rushmore of lefties.
Yeah, so you got
Can
four.
we, can we just throw some lefties out there in general, just that so I can get the mind thinking a little bit because I can't even think of.
Sorry, I'm interrupting. I'm good for it, but Dickie, I would hate to take away from your Mount Rushmore, but I think my thing that I had planned out would maybe set him up for it.
Oh yeah, let's do yours first. Because you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So, and I hate to do this to you, Dickie, because I love your Mount Rushmores. Trust me, Jake. What I got for you is I got a little March Madness bracket. And so what I got for you is I got 16 left-handed pitchers listed out, and I'm going to put them head to head, and you got to tell me which one you would choose over the other.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, so our first round, and like I said, after we do this is names that you can kind of use to build your Mount Rushmore.
Perfect.
So for the first round of 16, I got Tom Glavine versus Randy Johnson.
Oh, I'm a Randy Johnson guy, dude.
There we go.
And I guess it's from because I'm from Arizona too.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Okay, so first round goes to Randy Johnson. Next, I got Barry Zito and Madison Bumgarner, two giants going at it.
Dude, I'm a Mad Bum fan, bro. That guy was a psychopath.
I mean, that's a 3-time World Series champion. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that next round is already going to be vicious. All right, here we go. This one's kind of, in my opinion, it depends on if you really know ball history or not. I don't judge anyone on what they choose, but Sandy Koufax or Cliff Lee?
See,
Cliff Lee, bro.
I was say I'm a Cliff Lee guy because I just don't know enough about Sandy Koufax.
And that's okay.
I don't know.
Hey, brother,
that's ball history right there, which I don't.
Hey,
I don't got that ball history.
Perfect about this, brother. This is not our list. This is your list. There's no wrong. Okay, we got Cliff Lee moving on. Next, we got Clayton Kershaw and Chris Sale. Two modern guys.
Dude, have we even seen Sale in the postseason? Because if we've seen Sale in the postseason, I would say Sale.
I hate to do this to you, but I'm pretty sure he was on that World Series 2018 Red Sox team.
Yeah, dude.
Like I said, no wrong answer.
Are we saying I don't know? Yeah, I'm
this is your bracket. This is all preference on what you want. There's no,
dude. That's the hardest question right there, dude. I'm torn, but I think I'm a Chris Sale guy. So I think Chris Sale probably.
Good thing Dickie was gone for this one because you would have broke that.
He would have lost his mind. Yeah.
He chose Chris Sale over Clayton Kershaw. Like I said, Dickie, there's no wrong answers here. No judgment.
It depends on if we're going peaks or career.
This is his.
I know. I was just thinking he's had such a good career, but
it's your list.
Hey, were you here when you chose Cliff Lee over Sandy Koufax?
No. That's okay though, dude. It's your hey, we listen and we don't judge.
There's no judgment here. That's
what I'm saying. It's all about feel.
I told him, I said I don't got that kind of ball history, bro.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. It's all about personal experience and what you grew up watching and how you feel. Those probably feel weirder to us because look at Jared's wearing a Dodgers jacket and I got 3 Dodger hats here in the back. Yeah. So that's where it's that's where the bias starts to sneak in for us. So it's dude,
fair.
It's all right. Going to the other side of the bracket, we got fresh names now. We got CC Sabathia versus Johan Santana.
Dude, you got to go CC. He just got inducted in, bro.
Can't blame you. Cannot blame you there. We got Andy Pettit and David Price.
Again, just lack of ball knowledge, bro. I'm a big David Price. I was a big David Price guy, bro.
That was one of the first guys that put Vandy on the map, bro. You got to think.
Oh, that's that now, yeah.
You got to think. Okay, we got David Price. Okay, let me cross these names out. Going to the other side, we have Cole Hamels, and I know this is unfair to the other guy I'm about to name because he's not a starter, but, I mean, he's just – everyone knows the name. We got Cole Hamels and Aroldis Chapman.
Rollis was the first guy to throw 100, bro. I'm going with the Rollis there. I was a closer in college, dude. He was like one of the dudes that I like wanted to be.
Yeah.
Okay, and to round it out, we have Billy Wagner and Tarek Skubal. Got a Hall of Famer.
Wow. That's a crazy.
Brother, don't think I don't put thought and time into these.
Man.
That shit.
That's ridiculous.
Literally a Hall of Famer versus everyone knows is going to be a future Hall of Famer, but we don't. He could pull a Rose type situation on the Bulls.
I don't know. I'm just going to go safe bet and go Billy Wagner.
I mean, it's a Hall of Famer, brother. You can't be wrong there.
Just because, like, I like Tarek a lot, but, like, we got to see. I want to see more of this. Like, I don't know. But these
That's safe there. It says Wagner has 422 career saves, ranking him number 8 in MLB history and number 2 among left-handed pitchers.
Yeah. Nailed.
Good pick.
All right. So now we move on to our round of 8.
Cool.
We got Randy Johnson versus Madison Bumgarner. And that's actually tougher than people think, because if you want to talk stats, okay, you can lean one way, but we want to talk about like
accolades.
Like, yeah, accolades, brother. Like 3 rings is 3 rings.
Dude. I'm going Randy here.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mad Bum was on that 2010 team.
I'm pretty sure he was, him and Posey. I could be wrong. Could be very wrong.
Right. Go ahead. I'll Google it.
We got Cliff Lee and Chris Sale.
Chris Sale.
Yeah. Yeah, cannot blame you there. Especially if I had to do it against Cliff Lee. I mean, Cliff Lee, enough said. Okay. We got CC Sabathia and David Price.
That's crazy, too. Price, CC.
Okay. We have... Oh, I was not expecting this, actually. This is kind of dope. We have Aroldis Chapman versus Billy Wagner.
That's wild. I'll go Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner making it to the Final Four. Wow, who would have thought? All right. Final Four. Randy Johnson, Chris Sale.
All right, dude. It's got to go. It's got, like, and this is probably going to answer Brendan's, too. It's probably going to go Randy Johnson, Chris Sale. Probably Randy Johnson first.
Okay. So that Randy Johnson makes it to the finals. And then on the other side, CC Sabathia and Billy Wagner.
Wow. You got to go with Billy Wagner.
Okay. And then I think I know how this finals is going to go, but Randy Johnson, Billy Wagner.
I'm a Randy guy, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah. Randy was the guy. Randy was the guy to do it, bro.
Wow. And honestly, when I made this list, Randy Johnson with Tom Glavine right underneath it, Randy Johnson was the first name I wrote, because when I think of left-handed like power throwers, like, bro, it's Randy Johnson.
So would your Mount Rushmore be? It's Randy Johnson.
It probably goes Randy, Billy. It would probably go Randy, Billy Wagner, CC.
CC Sale.
CC Sale. And then like an honorable mention would be probably like Tarek.
Yeah.
Feel that.
Everybody forgets about Rich Hill. What about Rich Hill? I'm just kidding.
Dick Mountain.
It would have been funny if I put like Rich Hill versus Sandy Koufax, and you're like, Rich Hill's 12-6.
Yeah.
Oh man. Isn't he still trying to play?
I think so, yeah. He was playing on like Team USA or something like that, like the junior team.
Yeah, he was like I'm pretty sure I saw like some like post on that. It was like, yeah, he's the oldest guy. Like he made his MLB debut when some of these guys were born or something like that.
Oh yeah, bro. Especially with who are the guys the Brewers just signed? That like, or not the Brewers. Someone just signed like a 16-year-old. Dick, you know who I'm talking about?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what team that was though.
That's wild.
Damn it, guys! You made me look stupid. I know who I'm talking about, guys.
No. I definitely saw that. I just don't know what team he signed to. But yeah, some team just signed some like 15, 16-year-old. And the Dodgers signed some dude out of like South Sudan.
Oh, I did see that. That's South Sudan?
Yes.
Jake, my last question for you, I think Jared has one more too, is what are you looking forward to out in Germany in terms of baseball and in terms of non-baseball, right? So when you get out there, what are you looking forward to?
Dude, for baseball, in regards to, I'm just looking to meet the guys, play some competitive baseball out there. I met a bunch of guys in Japan actually that played in the league in Germany,
Hmm.
and they had only good things to say about it. So I'm really looking forward to some competitive baseball. A little bit different. I'm probably going more towards Jared's side, where it's going to be like a little bit colder weather baseball than I'm anticipating, but I'm excited. It's going to be a new change. The team that I'm playing for, the town that it's in, not a big town, probably about the same size as Hilo, maybe a little bit smaller. Um, but just like to be able to connect with that town and be able to play for that town, I'm really excited for that because I don't know, like whenever I put a jersey on, I like to represent that town well. So I
Yeah.
feel like I'm excited for that. Outside of baseball, I would say, dude, the architecture between the architecture and the food, bro. Like I'm ready to see like a different part of the world, dude. When that was one thing when I was out in Japan was it was like I don't think I was really like expecting what I expected, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Um, because like I went out there like just kind of blind, just not knowing like what to expect, and
Yeah.
the food was amazing. Just like the scenery and everything like that was amazing. Just it was just cool. It was just unique, and I don't know. I think like one thing too, like I don't know about you guys, how you guys feel, or if you guys have gone overseas or whatnot. But when I was in Japan, that was probably the best my body's felt while playing baseball, just because the food that I'm putting into my body and the just like the nutrition that they have out there is just different. It's good. It's like,
Yeah.
and then I did that, and then I go. Like, not that Hawaii's got any bad food, but then I went straight to Hawaii and I had good food out there. I had good poke and stuff like that, and good fish. But like just like I think it was when I got back into the States that I felt like ugh, like
Yeah.
I watched this there's this Twitch streamer that they posted like his clips on TikTok, and it was him coming from, it was either China or Japan to like the United States, and it was him eating McDonald's, and he was like, oh, my first McDonald's meal, and eating it and all that. The next day he didn't leave his hotel. He was bedridden. He was just like cramping, and he was like shaking in his bed like he felt so sick. And they just had like the camera on him, and he was just in bed shaking. I'm like, brother, you had one Big Mac and he's like compromised.
Dude, I
yeah, dude.
probably should have a better diet, dude. We would have those like double headers, and I would get so tired of this, like the Subway or Jersey Mike's in between games. That like I'd have my girlfriend go to the McDonald's across the street and get like the 2 cheeseburger meal.
Yeah.
And game two, I'm just in the dugout, like, dude, I hope I don't have to come in right now.
Feel that.
So
Oh man.
kind of just to, sorry if I interrupted anyone. I
No,
kind of
dude.
glitched
It's
out right there. But not to waste up too much of your time, like I said, we really appreciate you doing this in the first place. I kind of have a question I like to ask all of our guys just to wrap it up and give a closing final statement. But why baseball, brother? Like, what about baseball just gets you going? Like, why do you love it? What makes you get up to even want to keep doing it? Like, why baseball?
dude. That's a good question. That's a good question. I would say, dude, it's more so like the everyday grind that I enjoy. Like watch like the buildup of like baseball players and like I don't know, like I guess you could see it like you can see it in basketball and you can see it in football and you can see it everywhere else too. But like give a kid a bat and watch him swing a bat for the first time, and then look 4 years, 3 years down the road and watch him swing a bat then, and look at the like progression. And I just think it's not like any other sport. Like okay, like you could throw pads on and have a kid hit the pads like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and or go like play football like but it's just not the same. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I growing up it was just first of all, like growing up like to choose baseball, dude, I wasn't good at any other sports. My parents were like, "Well, I guess he's going to choose baseball because he's okay at baseball." So it's like and so like that was my sport and I don't regret it. I mean, I love everything about it, dude. I've just I love, and like my big thing too is I love seeing the game develop. That's why like a lot of people are probably like, oh, like you signed to play in Germany, why Germany? Or you signed to go overseas, why go overseas? Because the game and the way it's developing is going overseas, and it's so cool. Like I got to see that mainly in Japan too, dude. Like I was playing with a kid from Israel who he was like, when I was younger, I played on like the like U16 national team because we didn't have that many players, but it like gave me the opportunity to play on the national team, which like, and now there's like multiple kids playing baseball in Israel. There's like, you know what I mean? And it's just like more like, it's just growing. Like people like, if that answers your question in a sense, like, but also like, I don't know if you guys saw that video, but Cam Newton drove me nuts. I don't know if you guys saw that. That drove me nuts, bro. I wanted to like throw my phone. Like Cam Newton was like,
It's the one
"Oh yeah,
time. I'm a
he's like
Panthers fan.
baseball's a dying sport. The WNBA is going to pass it within the next
Yeah.
20 years." I was going to lose my mind. Which no disrespect to the WNBA. I personally am not a watcher of the WNBA by any means, but yeah, the Phoenix Mercury. I don't watch them.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm a Panthers fan, and Cam Newton was my GOAT for a long time, and I've defended him because he said some controversial stuff in the past, and it's been like, no, like he didn't mean that. And I heard the baseball one, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a back seat on this one. I was like, you guys can attack him. Go ahead. You can take a back seat.
You're a wise man for doing that because that's undefendable.
No, that's why I was like, yeah, I was like, what am I gonna sit back and be like, yeah, but he's got a point. Baseball is dying. Like,
That man
while
rushed for
Juan
40.
Soto and Otani are signing 800 or 700 plus $1 million contracts. I don't see those contracts in the WNBA.
I was legit just trying to tell my girlfriend's sister because she was trying to make the argument with me too, like because we were just debating about it, and she was trying to make the argument too with me about like, oh, like the WNBA definitely gonna surpass like baseball's viewerships. I told her I was like respectfully, like you haven't been to a WNBA game. I could buy tickets for like $10 in like the first section. Like
we could sit courtside for the price of a hot dog at Dodger Stadium.
That's crazy, but yeah, yeah, dude.
Oh, TikTok. Sorry, I keep bringing up TikTok, but I saw a TikTok of a girl trying to defend the WNBA, and he was just like, "Well, if that's the case, like a guy talking to a girl, he goes, then what's your favorite WNBA team? Is it the Grizzlies or the Hornets?" And she's like, "Oh, it would probably have to be the Hornets." He goes, "Well, those are NBA teams. you don't even know WNBA teams."
That's the thing. It's like I don't even. He's putting him like up against each other. Like I hope the WNBA thrives. I guess.
Yeah, I want them to be.
I hope they
like.
ball
Yeah,
out.
I want them to be successful. Don't get me wrong,
but don't put them in the same combo with baseball.
Don't. Yeah, that's like saying, okay, is the MLS soccer gonna be?
Yeah.
Is the Wimbledon tennis gonna pass the MLS soccer? Like, bro, like what are we talking about? Like,
yeah.
What a final closing statement, Jake. I mean, I asked why baseball, and we're over here talking why WNBA players deserve less. I mean, I love
it. Yeah, sorry, I took us for a little bit of a loop there, huh?
No, that's a good one. That's what this podcast is for, dude. It just goes all over the wire, and we're cool with that. Well, Jake, I appreciate you hopping on with us, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll get this one cooked up and edited and posted by the end of the week, and we're excited for this one to drop. And we'll have to do it again sometime soon.
Thank you guys for having me again. I appreciate you guys big time.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Send us a schedule, and so we can keep up with that.
Definitely, I will. All right.
We'll catch you later. Welcome back.